Hi girls, it's Kim Barnes-Waterman here. Recently I've had a revelation on the book of Jonah. It's pretty interesting stuff and I wanted to share it with you today. You know, the book of Jonah is super short. It's only 4 chapters and in my Bible it's 3 pages long, okay? So every one of us should put it on our summer reading list. It'd be easy summer reading for us this summer and it's a good story. Okay, here's what I got when I was reading the book of Jonah the other day. This is crazy. Here's the word. Everything in the book of Jonah obeyed God except Jonah. This is nuts. I just got this. Okay, listen, I'm going to go through the things. I'm going to prove it to you, and then I'd encourage you to go back and read it for yourself and see if this isn't the truth. Okay, first of all, Jonah is a prophet of God. We can see it in the King someplace where it confirms that he's a prophet. So he's given words before. And God comes to Jonah and he says, Jonah, I want you to go to Nineveh, the wicked city of Nineveh. I want you to give him this word. Well, Jonah doesn't want to do that. So he hops a boat and he heads out in the opposite direction. Okay, listen to this first thing that obeys God. While Jonah is on that boat, it says that God hurls a wind over to that ship on that sea, and he causes such a tremendous storm that it threatens to break the boat in two. So here we have the first thing, the wind obeys God. All right, then what we have is that the heathen sailors that are on the boat with Jonah, okay, these guys are freaking out. They're trying to just make this shipment of their cargo across the sea, and this storm is so fierce, probably like they've never seen before. They're all praying to their gods. They're throwing their cargo overboard, trying to lighten their load. They don't know what to do because nothing's working. They go find Jonah and they say, get up and pray to your God. Maybe your God will hear us and help us. All right? And then Jonah comes out and says, you know what, it's me. God is mad at me because I have run away from God and I've run away from what God has told me to do. So these heathen guys don't know what to do, and Jonah says, throw me overboard and the storm will settle. And they don't even want to do that. They're like, oh man, we don't want to do that. They try to row and row and row to get to the other side, but that ain't happening. So finally they throw Jonah overboard, and then those heathen sailors, it says, they sacrificed to Jonah's God, the God of the Hebrews, and they made a vow to serve him. So here you have heathen sailors that get saved, right? They obey God. That's pretty wild. Now what we have is God appointed what? A great fish. God sent a great fish, we say a whale, to swallow Jonah. The whale obeys God. All right, then Jonah finally ends up getting spit out. He does go back. God says, you know what? Okay, now you want to go to Nineveh. It's okay. He goes to Nineveh. And it says Nineveh is a wicked, wicked city. These are violent, violent people. There's 120,000 of them. And when Jonah goes to preach to Nineveh, we don't know all that he preaches, but we do know that he says, in 40 days, your city's going to be flattened because of your wickedness. And here's what these wicked people do. It says that they believed in God, they repented, and sackcloth and ashes, and they called a fast. They totally repented. They obeyed God, the whole wicked city of Nineveh. So Jonah, he's not still happy about this, all right? That's a whole nother teaching. But Jonah goes and he sits up on a hill outside the city, and he's waiting. Maybe God's going to flatten them after all. He's waiting to see what's going to happen, and it says that God appointed a plant to rise up, to grow up, and to shade Jonah. The plant obeys God. And then the next morning it says that God sends a worm to go and gnaw at the plant, so the plant withers up and dies. The worm obeys God. This is crazy. Everything in the book of Jonah, everything except Jonah obeys God. Wow. Wow, what does that mean for you and I? I don't know. It means everything in the book of Jonah obeys God except Jonah. But it's good summer reading, and I would encourage you to get into the book of Jonah this summer, read it through, read it in your favorite translation, and ask God what he wants to show you in that. Listen, girlfriends, God goes before you. He sets a guard at your rear. He covers you with his hand, and underneath you are his everlasting arms. Lady, you will never walk alone in this life. I'll see you next time.